The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them.
The atmosphere. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all get some water.
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
Oh, Paimon's...
Do you have any plans, traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels super surreal to hear you talk about it again.
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath.
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd...
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Ramon's joined us.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the...
So, everyone.
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is...
Well, let's brainstorm a little more.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out for sure.
You must let me know if there's anything. Though I cannot leave our village, I can't help but feel I've never felt as roused as this when fighting alone in the past. I suppose this must be the power of
Don't rush. This is a bit... Take it slowly. We need to make...
He's starting to read his book again.
Would you like me to lend you some...
No way! Your books aren't quite...
I was joking. I know my books are far too difficult for you.
Ugh, you're so annoying!
The past few days have been some of the most... And none of it'll earn me a single mora. I can't believe it.
Look on the bright side, dear. Maybe
You've got a point. Hey, what would you do...
Paimon would buy boatloads of taste...
That's it?
And maybe some...
How it... Well, here's to all our indulgent fantasy. And here's hoping that everything we do from now on...
By the way, in the past, I never imagined that even the god... If we can find a way to change all of this.
Has everyone arrived?
Everyone is already waiting inside.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Please, wait. Before attending the meeting, I hope you can promise me one...
What do you need?
Promise me that you won't commit to anything too reckless.
What do you think?
Okay.
Paimon's here so early! But why?
We already discussed things a bit.
Hey, where have you been? I've missed you too.
Are you ready?
Very well.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
I gotta admit, it's bold.
The point of discussion is to arrive at a solution. Let's cut the small talk and move to the next point.
You're making
You're finally done.
I have some other stuff to take care of. Come on, don't give me that face. I know what you're going to say. I'll be careful.
That's what I wanted to hear. Well, traveler, Paimon, judging from your expressions, the meeting must...
You can tell?
I'm not that good at scheming or strategy, but I can sense people's emotions. And based on your reaction, things must have gone quite...
Paimon's a little worried. Hopefully nothing will...
To be honest, I feel the same. But your deeds speak for themselves.
Candace, we stayed behind to tell you that, although you won't become...
I'm very glad to hear that. I've said the same thing to everyone here today as I said to you when you arrived. Only when you're safe can the plan be successful. So please, you're welcome. And good luck. With that...
Sounds good. I'll go make some
Okay.
I'll hate them!
Have you finished saying your goodbyes?
Yeah! Also, Candace told
Yes, she did. But I think my point also bears... Our plan is not child's play. We won't be able to achieve anything if we're simply careful. I hope this is clear to you.
Huh? Shouldn't you be saying something more cheerful to boost our morale right now?
Didn't we already do that during the meeting?
You can never have enough words of encouragement.
In that case, Candace can cuddle you to your heart's content while I continue to remind you of the seriousness of our situation. We all have our jobs to do, after all. It's like how some people can be put in charge of logistics while others will fight on the front lines.
Speaking of the front lines...
Of course. Compared to the mercenaries, I'm merely a feeble skull. But the advantage of not being a mercenary is that I get to stay in a safer place and offer my... Just think about that mercenary who lost his mind. Mercenary groups are facing...
Well, being a scholar is also a high risk...
I'm not like the rest of them. Even among members of the same species.
This guy. Paimon still remembers when those mercenaries...
All intellectuals are lunatics in the eyes of fools. I'll take that as... Do you remember the record we saw in the King Deshret ruins? It mentioned forbidden... You have a good memory. Forbidden knowledge has the power to drive people insane, but this fact has never been shared with the public. Even... I think... Those mad scholars and mercenaries we encountered may have all fallen victim to the corrupting... But the academia has always held a different view. They've always believed that symptoms of madness are a side effect of human contact with divine knowledge as... Come to think of it, perhaps the academia has also never understood the true nature of forbidden knowledge, and thus all the withering, Elazar, and the sandstorms. Don't you think what is happening right now across Sumeru is rather similar to the forbidden knowledge pollution that occurred in the desert thousands of years ago?
But Paimon thought that Irminsul's disease is what caused the withering in this... At least, that's what Tainari... Wait a second. Could it...
Ah, you've connected the dots. The cause of Irminsul's illness...
But if that's the case, what should...
Wait. Why do you think Lesser Lord Kusanali would have a solution to this situation?
You mean, it's related to the scene you saw when you passed out in the Avidia forest?
In that case, it's imperative that we rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali. Only to make sure we're still on track. I would like to
Where are we going?
to an eremite base.
Into the wind.
Ah, they're here.
Huh? What are they doing here?
I gave them some technical work to do.
Ah, it's the scribe. And is that the traveler I see?
How's the work going?
Ah, yes! We have fixed the devices according to your instructions. One of them is already ready for use, while the others are still under repair.
Aren't those devices for canned knowledge extraction? What are you doing?
Look here.
Huh? More canned knowledge? Are you going to put more weird stuff?
What's that look on your face? Are you scared?
Paimon's a little scared, but very...
That's an interesting response. Anyway, we're not going to use this just yet. As I mentioned during the meeting, this knowledge capsule contains a decree I drew up in the past. The academia should also have their own copy. Traveler, I want you to record something into this capsule. Do you believe we can save Lesser Lord Kusanali? Good. Conviction is the most important now. Please get ready and put on this device.
You want us to record our conviction?
Yes,
Paimon is still...
I understand. But trust me, Paimon, this is something we have to do. Because, to achieve this impossible task, it sounds like you'll need to fool your own heart first.
Paimon can see the point you're trying to make.
Imagine this. We have orchestrated our plan and successfully rescued Lesser Lord Kusanali. As a result, we have changed Sumeru's entire... Everything went without a hitch, and everyone recognizes and praised... Now, open your eyes. Here,
What's this?
read it out loud. It's done.
Is your head okay? Does anything hurt?
It's just a recording. There should be no negative effects.
But what was the point of doing this?
And that's perfectly fine. In any case, these
Huh? What do you mean?
Have you forgotten? Our plan needs to account for those who have long relied on the Akasha. You may find it hard to believe, but for those people, everything the Akasha transmits... Imagine if you've been using a device like the Akasha since the day you were born. And this device has always... After all that time,
A fool?
a slave to orders. And that's why rules are so important. In addition, those who understand the rules can delineate boundaries.
But why would you need to identify
You could say that those kinds of ambiguous zones can be very...
things you're interested in are really out there?
Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. I'm going to take those two to work on some small projects.
Small projects?
We're going to tinker with the Akasha terminal and make a few...
I thought we agreed on a plan. How can you go back on your word?
The plan is too radical and carries a high risk for casualties.
But it's still the best plan we have. As a former Matra, you...
I did. And that's how I saw the danger behind these so-called advantages.
Huh? Why doing?
My friend, you're just in time. Why don't you help me?
We agreed to work out a plan at the meeting. As mercenaries, you're familiar with the local environment, so you'll take. Had I known Al-Haytham would give you those kinds of suggestions.
Look, you already know that we're all on the same side.
Mercenaries place a lot of importance on their bonds of friendship, but also will not hesitate to.
Seems you really do understand the ways of the desert.
Traveler, Paimon. This is also. Rahman's plan is to have me work with the Caravan Reebok guards in my capacity as a Matra. We will arrest the
Wait! How can we work with the guards?
We can't get through that wall easily, remember? Caravan Reebok would never let so many unregistered members of the Eremites and my plan will clear us of any possible suspicion, and also let us enter the city as a big group. There is no better.
That also sounds like something Al-Haytham told you.
Doesn't Al-Haytham know how dangerous?
Of course he does. He told me, there is no perfect plan, but this can get the job done. He also said that with the help of Sino and the Traveler, our chance of success would increase significantly. I never blindly trust anyone, and I've always had a good eye for people. I think he made a number of valid points.
If I make the arrests alone, I can control myself and prevent you from getting hurt. But I can't guarantee that. To make the whole thing more convincing, you'll need to resist to some degree. I'm okay with the deaths of enemies. But now that we're out...
I can't believe a Matra would actually care about us. I've lived a hard life, and I can say that...
I've always treated my allies with honesty and respect.
Now you're making this hard for me.
Hey, is there something we can do to help?
I knew you would say that.
We can help fight some of the mercenaries, which should reduce the number of times you'll have to struggle directly with the guards.
Sino, on behalf of my people, I thank you for your kindness. But we have no fear of casualties, because we crave the spoils of victory. So please, lend us your support.
Well, now that you... But remember, you need to follow the plan and not do anything reckless. Candace made it very clear that we can only achieve our goal since you and I both recognize the significance of this operation. There should be no more animosity between the followers of the Dendro Archon.
Okay, you have a deal. Let's do...
The guards should be stationed in the courtyard nearby. You can find them there.
Yeah.
There must still be traces of Take on a commission from
Guards!
General Mahamatra! To what do we owe the honor?
Keep your voice down. This is a secret operation. I'm going to arrest a large criminal gang near this location. According to the Academia's Guide and Regulation...
Ah, of course, of course. Mahamatra Sino's order is the Academia's order. Just let us know what you need. But who exactly are you planning to arrest, and how many people are you expecting?
They're a squad of Eremites whose number is comparable to Ain el Akhmar in Port Ormos. They're involved...
As many as Ain al Akhmar? This should definitely be classified as a joint operation.
And I suggest that you report this to your superiors as soon as possible.
Got it. Please wait a moment. I'll contact them immediately.
Because this is work. Because I trust you.
Paimon can't believe you're still in the mood to chat. Aren't you even a little worried? What if these guards already know that you... Even if that guard doesn't know, they're superior...
We discussed this, remember?
The Caravan Rebot operation is of great importance. But don't worry. The guards there shouldn't know that Sino has stepped down.
How can you be so sure?
First, the other Matra still don't know why Sino has left, which proves that the Academia has been covering up.
Second, this is a crucial moment for the Academia's God creation plan. If no matter how you look at it, They don't seem...
A reasonable inference.
Which brings us to our next issue. I'm sure some of you have been wondering if the prediction...
The Akasha is still in operation, so I must... Actually, considering the power of the Akasha...
I've given that a lot of thought. If you remember, when you first came to Aru Village, all your actions and routes were predicted by the Akasha. It even gave that information to those, but things like that never happened again after we met up with the Traveler.
That's true. But why?
Look at it from a different angle. Why do you think the Akasha will predict your actions?
Because my personal data has been entered into the Akasha.
That's true, but the key to this haven't you ever thought about it? Just how can it do this?
Because the Akasha controls the entirety of Sumeru.
The academia firmly believes that all human actions can be explained through logic.
By sorting and analyzing entered data, the Akasha can derive behavioral logic and predict the actions of those who fit an existing logic model. However, at the risk of sounding like an advocate for fallacies, can everyone truly be considered logical at all times? Emotions are part of our behavioral logic. But can you guarantee that every experience of the same joy or pain would be equally intense? How? Sino, in the past, you've always worked alone. In the absence, decisive and principled, you were used to solving problems alone. That's why the Akasha could figure you out. But now, you've joined a team. Our thoughts and logic have intermingled and weaved themselves together to become... The Akasha lacks data on these interactions, and it's impossible for it to predict your actions in the future based on your... So, in my opinion...
Makes sense to me. I agree. The Akasha is not...
Is that... I guess there are things that even the Akasha cannot calculate. And people will not be forever trapped by the past.
Paimon's so glad.
Next time, pay attention during our meetings.
Will do.
Just remember to stay vigilant.
Footsteps!
General Mahamatra, we were not expecting your presence here. I'm the security officer of the Great Red Sand District. My name is Luxembarbo.
This is my assistant, the Traveler. He will be working with me.
Beep! Construct, beep!
What a great honor to meet you. Your golden hair is as bright as the sun. And,
Have you made a decision regarding the matter I mentioned to your...
It seems to be a dire situation, so of course you will have our full cooperation. To be perfectly honest...
There's no need for flattery.
Yes, sir.
Take your most elite platoon and follow me to the eastern side of the district. We will carry out the operation.
Understood.
Map.
Hurry, bring the map!
In 2 days, we will engage Rahman's Eremites and cap... Any questions about the time or
None at all, sir.
Good. See you then.
Yes, sir.
Maybe hanging around the General Mahamatra isn't so bad after all. Everyone's so respectful towards us.
This is all due to the absolute authority of the academia. Get ready.
Time to go. There are leaves around.
It's time for the operation! Let's go meet Sino in the desert! Look! Over there! Our helpers have arrived already! Let's hurry over!
Wait a moment.
Ah! Oh, it's you.
You're my assistant, remember? Being my assistant, you must stay with me. Now let's head over.
It's General Mahamatra and his assistants.
We meet again.
You're here early.
It's to show how important we think the operation is. Since this is a big case for the academia, we are prepared to give it our best.
I'm glad to hear your sense of resolve. Remember, they are our only leads for the case. If they...
Understood.
Everyone! The Eremites are approaching from the west!
Make preparations and be ready for combat. Halt!
Oh? What a warm welcome! What do you want? Judging from those shiny weapons in your hands, it seems like you're...
Rahman, the academia has caught wind of your smuggling and illicit sales.
Who are you supposed to be? A Matra from the academia?
I'm not here to talk.
Oh, nobody's given me this much time of day since I became a mercenary. Brothers! For that slight, let's wash...
Transfixed. Overruled.
It's over.
Ah!
We have subdued them. The operation is now over. All Eremite mercenaries and related personnel in the area have been arrested.
Ah, you pitiful Dendro Archonta!
I'm a...
King Deshret will curse you!
Silence!
Oh,
Restrain them and take them back to Caravan Rebot.
Yes, sir!
Mahamatra Sino, I will now take my leave. If you need further assistance, please come to Caravan Rebot and ask for me.
Understood. You are dismissed.
There they go.
Let's talk elsewhere.
This part of the plan went really well.
Yes, things went perfectly.
That's fantastic! And that punch you gave Rahman there sure looked convincing enough.
Once we're done here, I'll return to Caravan Rebot and oversee the group's transport.
Yeah, you're the reason why everything went so well.
It's not the time to celebrate yet. Go join up with her. She will need you to...
Speaking of which, is it really okay for us not to share the full...
I have a very close relationship with Tainari. Given how well we know each other, I believe my message alone should be... If we need help, Tainari is the best option. Get ready for the next phase of the plan.
It's about time. Didn't you say our part of the plan is the most important of all? And here you come rolling in late. In the time it took you to get here, I already did 5 laps around the place, downed 7 drinks, and even did some—
Sorry. We didn't mean to keep you waiting.
I just wanted to fix your attitude and rub it in a little. After all, you took your sweet time getting here, and we've got important stuff to take care of. I just like seeing that serious look on your face. All joking aside, I'm glad you're here. Let's get moving and take care of the—
But where should we start?
Our responsibility is to get a status update on the Fatui Harbinger known as the Doctor. We need to make sure he won't get in our way when we rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali. Dealing with an institution that controls all of Sumeru is already hard enough. If the Doctor were to crash the party, it would be next to impossible for us to—
Yeah, we sure don't want him showing up. Ooh.
Right? Hearing his name just reminds me of those stuffy old geezers in the academia. I'd rather not have to deal with someone like that. According to the plan, we should first go to Pardis DI and ask for Forest Watcher Tainari. If all Hatham and Sino's sources are solid, then we can be sure that Tainari still has the Academia's trust. So, we'll find Tainari and convince him to get us the latest intel on the Doctor. Then, depending on what— the sages have placed spies everywhere on the other side of the wall. I'll follow you as a bodyguard. You should be honored. I don't offer my services to just anyone, you—
But Paimon thought mercenaries would do anything for Mora.
That's certainly true. But when multiple employers are vying for your services, you should always go with the best offer.
How much more do you want?
How much do I want? Hey, how about paying me with a smile? What do you say? I haven't seen you smiling much recently. If you ask me, someone— come on, give me a smile so that I can be less worried. Looking good! I hope this pretty smile will be— there are many kinds of smiles, but only a truly joyous one can bring blessings to others. Let's go. It's time.
He's over there! Let's go say hi! Tainari!
Traveler, Paimon. And you are?
Hey there.
This is our friend Dia. She's an eremite.
A mercenary? You must have some big news for me.
It's something really important. Please help us out.
All right. Then follow me. This place is better. We won't be disturbed by an— Okay. What is this important thing you want to ask me? The Doctor.
He's that strange-looking Fatui Harbinger with the mask.
Yes, I know him. Actually, he left Pardis DI just a little while.
He left already?
Yeah. He came looking for—
Can I ask what it was about? Sorry to ask you like this after having just met. For now, all we can share with you is that your friend Sino is working with us.
Sino, you say? I see. So that's why he hasn't been at the— Okay. I'll answer your questions and will assist you any way I can.
Sino's name really does work wonders. You're not even—
Despite having just met you, I can sense that you're the serious type. You don't need to tell me anything you don't want to. I'll also get straight. The Harbinger you mentioned came to me because he wanted to take the scholar Hypatia away with him.
Hypatia? Why would he want her?
And what do you mean by take away? Is he planning to leave Sumeru?
Yes. He told me his return to Snezhnaya is imminent. So you mean you're leaving this place soon?
Indeed. Otherwise, we could have perhaps talked a little more. I was just about to set out when I remembered something important. To that end, I made a final trip to Pardis. Let me ask, have you been taking care of a scholar by the name of Hypatia?
Your sources are accurate. No doubt because you've recruited many informants. But
Forgive me for asking, but how's the treatment coming along?
given the way you're asking, I assume...
Since you asked, I'll be frank. I would like to take Hypatia to...
It's incredibly difficult to transfer a patient. As a scholar, you're...
Oh? I can't believe your utter lack of faith in me, to the point of even questioning my general level of knowledge.
Well, you're the only one who's ever made such a request.
I have my ways of keeping her safe during the journey. In addition, I can also promise I will personally supervise her treatment and see to her recovery.
Hypatia was born in Sumeru and remains a scholar of the Academia. Transporting her to Snezhnaya is risky, and the potential benefits are unknown. Your suggestion is rude and reckless. I'll pass. I don't know much about the doctor, but after talking with him, I realized that just like many others, it's not so much that he's looking down on others, but more that he's I would never refer a patient to someone like him. I prepared myself for a protracted battle of wits, and was really surprised.
I see, I see. Of course, your opinion makes perfect sense. You're still young, but already quite stubborn. I must say, you are not like what... Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't just let you off the hook like this. But unfortunately, I'm in a... Luckily, there is still some time left for me to take care of everything before I leave. It's just as the Academia said, you're a responsible and gifted... And that's also why people like you can never realize that sooner or later, everyone must pay the price for what they've learned.
Pаймon can't help but feel like he's hinting at something unpleasant.
He asked a question, yet didn't care for my answer. Perhaps I'm nothing... He never came off as malicious, but an utter lack of compassion permeated through...
I can barely believe it myself.
I don't think I missed any details. Frankly speaking, I don't want you to do anything too risky. Now that you...
Sorry, we can't tell you everything. We appreciate that.
It's okay. I have an obligation to do so. To be perfectly honest, all of this may... Recently, my master wrote several letters to me, asking me to return to the Academia and to...
Hasn't he already asked you several times before?
Yes, but there's something off about this most recent batch of letters. The handwriting and the tone are both... My master will occasionally leave a few dots on the back of the letter. 1 dot means that he wrote the letter on a sunny day, and 3 dots stand for a rainy day. This has been a habit of his for many years, but I didn't find any dots in his recent letters.
I get it. Since you are always at...
I'd like to ask you to do that for me, if you can keep yourself safe.
I can do that, but I have a feeling it won't be... The Academia has been working on a big project. I'm not quite sure what it is, but... If the higher-ups really are hiding something, then it will be difficult to remove myself from the situation. If the situation becomes critical, I'll leave the Academia. If you don't...
All right, we've got a plan. I'll stay at Gandharvaville to support you.
If that scenario comes to pass, you must be extra vigilant. And be wary of any messages or direct requests.
I must say, I didn't expect a
Being loyal to the Academia doesn't mean blindly doing whatever the sages say. On that note, aren't you also being quite distrustful of your...
The Academia, yes. But my master is a man of integrity. I suppose he's lucky to have lasted so long.
I see. So you noticed something was up with the
This may well be how Sino became involved in all of this. In which case, also, if you run into Sino again, please help me pass on a message to him. I think this may be something he needs to hear.
Okay, we'll find a chance to tell...
Thanks.
Right. Now let's go hunt down this harbinger. Oh, by the way, which way did the doctor go when he left?
That way.
Gotcha. Thanks so much. We'll be on our way. According to Tighnari, the doctor is leaving Sumeru soon. I want to check if the doctor was... He also said that he'll take care of everything before he leaves. Just to be safe, let's chase him and see what we find.
But we have no idea where he went.
We'll do it the mercenary way. I'll find... That harbinger may have tried to cover his trail, but he still left some traces. Or perhaps he never even thought about concealing his whereabouts. Maybe that's just how arrogant he really is. Yep, we're headed in the right direction. The traces are still fresh, but there's no sign of his entourage. Clearly they're in a hurry. It's just as I thought. We can stop here. I think I know where the doctor went. To the south of here is Port Ormos, which seems to be where they're headed.
Port Ormos? They're going to leave...
That's right. Let's go to the port and have a look for ourselves.
Skills seems we found the right...
Shh! Don't drop. The port is crawling with Fatui soldiers.
Let's keep going and see what we can find.
Now this is a proper farewell ceremony for a Snezhnayan Harbinger.
The Lord Harbinger is leaving. I've still only seen him once or twice.
I used to hold a position in our homeland, and back then, the doctor spoke in a very different way from the way he speaks now. Maybe the way people talk in Sumeru has rubbed off on him? It's always like that when you spend too long away from home. When he gets back to Snezhnaya, perhaps it will also take him some time to get used to the life there again.
Huh? But, sir, that can't be right.
No, I remember it like it was yesterday. Both his expressions and tones are now very different. Also, for some reason, he seems like he's all smiles now.
You must be mistaken. Nobody's supposed to look happy when they're on a business trip.
The doctor is on that boat. So he told the truth after all. He is actually leaving Sumeru. Let's get closer and find a place to hide so we can observe him. This place will do. We can hide here while we keep an eye. Huh?
Uh-oh! He saw us.
Huh? Is he waving at us?
It's time to say goodbye.
Wait, is he the only person on the boat?
You mean...
And where are all the soldiers we saw in the port just now?
They were all here just a few minutes ago, but now...
So this was a trap. Wait, don't tell me that...
Luckily, there is still some time left for me to take care of everything before I leave.
Oh no. They might be after Hypatia. Let's get back to Party's DI.
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm afraid that she's seen something that she wasn't supposed to see. If I were the Fatui, I would also...
Oh no! Are you saying they're going to...
Let's go!
Paradis DI is not a place you Fatui can just show up and do.
I believe we've already made ourselves quite clear. Our superior gave us permission to search for and collect medicinal herbs and—
But you've been in Sumeru for some time already. I find it
Even the Grand Sage himself may not have the right to question our research, much less an ordinary scholar. I've done my duty to inform you. Don't make things
It would seem that my words have fallen on deaf ears. You can keep trying to deny it, but coming to Paradis DI now—
With all due respect, your baseless speculations will only lead to
Well, you only have your Harbinger to blame. He knows nothing about— I may be staying at Paradis DI as a scholar, but that doesn't mean It is still my duty to protect the peace and safety of the scholars who have—
Then it seems our conversation has hit an impasse.
No one will lay a hand on you, Hypatia. Not on my watch.
Tighnari, are you alright?
I'm fine. These Fatui have really crossed the line. Time to teach them a lesson.
There's no use resisting! Give us Hypatia!
Keep dreaming!
Yeah, Tighnari, beat him up!
The doctor's orders are absolute!
Yeah? You've been someone's lapdog for so long that you don't know anything else now.
Stay right there. This isn't good.
Pitiful, everlasting as the moon. Laid bare.
Clouds high. The birds come.
Storm the front. Don't get frostbite. Overruled.
We're not getting anywhere. Traveler, Paimon, please go to Hypatia.
Got it! Hypatia's still here. Doesn't look like it. Well, how is she? Oh, that's good.
So, you think this is over?
What? The Balladeer is here?
I've missed that look of abject horror. You've given me that look every time we meet.
But, where is he?
I can hear all of your thoughts, you know. Don't you remember? I already saw you the first time you came to Paradis DI, and I didn't need to do anything. It is her honor to be able to connect her consciousness.
Who are you talking to? It can't be the—
I know you must be curious. I might as well tell you that I decided to enter Hypatia's consciousness the moment I sensed your touch. I wanted to observe you on a fool's errand.
Hey, Traveler!
My deification is nearly complete. All that's left now are just some final details. Do you understand? Even if you manage to rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali, it will be impossible for you to defeat a bona fide god like me. Is it wise to force that childlike god into a divine? Scholars consider the God of Wisdom to be the sum total of their faith. It's how they can justify reverence for a god as they construct it. But this also shows that humanity's worship of gods is a combination of... Yes. Yeah, I'm in a good mood, which is why I'm talking to you like this. What do you mean? Those words almost make you sound like a friend who actually cares. But you're wrong. I'm different from all of you. I was born to become a god. My entire life up until this point has just been a meaningless routine. Just think about a sheet of paper. By itself, it holds no meaning. The contents recorded, all I had recorded down before were some painful memories and boring human feelings. Such senseless drivel should have been erased a long time. Indeed, to me, the sight of you fools in your futile struggles is far more amusing. Tell me, just what has this... I'm connected to your consciousness, so I can hear what you're thinking. And this is a good conversation we're having. So here's a word of advice. Let go of your misguided guardian complex. You know nothing. It'll be for your own good, as well as everyone else's. Ah, you've seen my affection for her. If you were in my position, I think you'd... She peered into my consciousness and saw my past. Someone like that is qualified to become my first follower. All gods need followers. So Hypatia has been chosen. Her appearance heralds my imminent arrival at the throne of divinity, while her worship shall become my... You're doubting me again? No matter. Soon, you'll know what kind of authority you're... Who wants to hurt my devout follower? The doctor wants to hurt my first follower? How very amusing. Has anyone ever told you that the doctor has never known his place? Even now, the puny human thinks himself capable. You're still too naive if you think a few words will be enough to convince me to destroy the doc. It is an honor for you to be able to stand here and speak with me. As my listener, you will be rewarded. Both good things and bad things can be called gifts. After all, gods have never needed to be...
Paimon hears thunder! That person Paimon couldn't see was the Palantir? Oh, he sure chatted with you for a while. Where is the storm headed? That means anyone outside is in danger! Let's... Oh! Have the Fatui retreated? Hey! What happened to you?
He's hurt.
I'm fine. Ow!
Don't move. I've seen eremites get struck by lightning before. You need to rest.
Struck by lightning?
We were fighting, and just as things started looking grim, the weather suddenly became extremely strange. Lightning started attacking everyone. Luckily, there were only two of us, and both of us were nimble enough to dodge most of the strikes. There were a lot of Fatui, though, and they were
With that, all the Fatui soldiers were forced to retreat. Why are you sorry? It's all right. I'm sure you also never expected this to happen. My wound aside, you look like you've seen something unpleasant. Is Hypatia all right?
Hey, didn't I tell you not to move?
Just in case. Let's go to Hypatia's place and talk. Thank goodness, she's fine.
Hey, how about taking care of yourself first?
I understand my condition.
Ugh, The more you understand medicine, the worse of a patient you become.
I know. They always think they can push through the pain.
Oh, he sat down.
Let me rest for a bit.
So that's what you were talking to the balladeer about?
The academias. God.
That sounds, ambitious, I guess? Anyway, this is all way beyond me. As long as I can enjoy every day with a drink in my hand, tasty food in my stomach, and a good night's rest, that's an... I must be the least ambitious person who's ever set foot in part...
Don't say that. I haven't even thanked you.
Don't mention it. Well, if nothing else, all this proves that the doctor really did have some urgent matter to attend to. Maybe the Fatui want to cover up some secret of the balladeer.
You said the balladeer claimed that Hypatia has seen his past. So...
Have you noticed? The balladeer is not happy with the doctor's actions.
So, if the doctor was to show up again, would the balladeer zap him with...
Based on what the traveler has said, I think he would. Having the doctor gone benefits him as well. In other words, we've successfully completed the stage.
Yay! That's a big...
I'm...
Thank you for the help, Tainari. Make sure you rest up for now.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, that wraps things up for us here at Parties DI. Let's continue to keep a low profile.